Amber and I are dedicated to helping you take care of the furry friends you have at home. And because it's actually National Walk Your Dog Day, it's a great time to get a furry check-in with our favorite Tom Doc and Noah's Animal Hospitals. Tom, it's great to see you.
Thank you.
You've been busy, my friend.
We have. Who is
this?
Lord Kratos the Omnipotent. Kratos is the Greek god of strength and power. Also the brother to Nike, and you guys know we have Nike at home too, so it worked out really well. He is a rescue from the Rescue Boutique, up in Zionsville. A friend of mine called 2 Sundays ago and said, hey, I've got something for you, and so 2 weeks ago tonight, we went and got him.
Oh, well, he looks like a great addition to the family. Is he going to be Indy 11's newest
He is going to be Indy 11's newest mascot. He is so social, as people have seen around here today at the studio.
You know, I know we got a lot we're going to talk about, but tell me his personality, because, you know, I just had a baby in July, and sometimes puppies and babies, the way they explore, they remind me of each other.
Oh, they really do. He is very confident in his world. He is not afraid of anybody so far. Nike snaps at him on occasion, but that's normal.
Puts him in his place.
Yeah, puts him in his place type thing, because she's kind of, don't get near my food, don't get near my toys type of thing. Seniority,
right?
Right, but he's very confident. He had no problem walking up the steps coming in here. He was here last Saturday with Nike. I'm really proud of how social he is and how confident he is. So I'm excited when Indy 11 goes back to IUPUI to see how he's going to react.
Well, I'm guessing you don't always find that with all rescues.
Not all rescues and not all purebreds. You know, you guys have seen Andy and Orion on here, the 2 apricots that we have, and they're both very shy. Now, Orion's better than Andy, but nowhere near like this guy right here.
Yeah, okay. So it's National Walk Your Dog Day. It's a great time to keep those kind of things in mind. I was telling Amber, where did this come from and why today? In fact, you know, you'd think it'd be in May or something like that. Do you know anything about the history of National Walk Your Dog Day?
I don't. I did some research, and, you know, I have to wonder, okay, it's winter time, so maybe it's just encouragement to get out and walk when most people don't want to walk. We do know that dog walking itself, professional dog walking, goes back to New York City in about the 1960s. And certainly we've seen what kind of explosion has happened now with apps like rover.com and wag.com, where you can, on a moment's notice, call up a dog walker to go to your house and walk your dog if you're not going to make it home that night.
Really? I didn't know this, Tom.
There's lots of things. Yeah, then you can have them spend the night, do wellness check-ins on your pets. So like in the middle of the day, you've got maybe a cat who's bored. The person can come over, let themselves into your house. These folks are insured and bonded, and play with your cat for an hour while you're at work.
Really? Don't tell my daughter that. If I had $1 for every flyer she made of being a dog walker, and I'm sure she would want to get a hold of that app and be one of those people that walk dogs. But it's great to know that there's somebody in a moment's notice that can help us take care of them.
Exactly. And it helps with their mental well-being as well. We say things a lot like a tired dog is a good dog, and we know that so many dogs are relinquished to shelters because of behavior issues. And so if we can do something, walking the dog 20 minutes, you know, twice a day or an hour each day, we can really minimize those behavior issues.
Yeah. How do you decide how long your dog needs to walk? Or maybe the dog is walking you, as it would be in our case with our Golden Doodle, but how many minutes?
So most of the time you want to look at the breed, because, you know, an active Dalmatian, a Siberian Husky, a Lab may want to walk a lot farther than a Basset Hound or a Pug or a little toy breed. We have a saying in the Mastiff community that don't walk farther than you want to carry your dog back. Okay, and when you have a 200-pound dog, you don't want to walk very far.
That's a really good point.
Right, and we want to remember their health too, because if they're overweight, if they have arthritis, don't start walking 2 and 3 miles a day. We may want to consider more along the lines of get down to the driveway, end of the driveway and back, or to the corner and back, and build that up.
Well, that's a really good point. I can remember when I was a newer dog owner, I had a Puggle walk too far on a hot day with my baby in the stroller. I had to take the baby out of the stroller, put him on my shoulders, put the Puggle in the stroller, and we went home. So that's really appropriate advice, Tom.
Exactly.
Tell me about leashes. How do we know we've got the right one for the size of dog we have?
Sure. So I've just got a little slip lead on Kratos right now, because what we're training with. But I tell people, make sure it's no longer than about a 6-foot lead, appropriate for the weight of the dog. So you can get like half-inch leads, you can get full-inch thick leads. So depending on the weight of the dog. I try to tell people, I know they're convenient, but let's stay away from flexi leads, those things that let the dog go 20 feet out and you stand on the sidewalk while he's in the snow and the grass.
Why is that?
They have a tendency to break, and that snaps back on you and can cause injuries. And if you're in a crowded environment like downtown, it's hard to keep them braked or I guess, keep the brake on is what I'm trying to say, on that lead, and they can wind themselves around poles, around people, around chairs. I've seen people with flexi leads at some of the outdoor restaurants that allow pups on their patio, and it just gets to be a mess. So a good 6-foot lead, you can always bring it up tighter, you know, to 1 foot if you're walking in traffic or something like that, but I stay away from flexi leads just for that reason.
Easier to control.
Right.
Any other tips for keeping our dogs safe as we're walking them?
It's what I say every time I'm on here. Let's make sure we talk with our doctor, our veterinarian, about what our pups need as far as vaccinations. They can pick up a lot of things on a walk, even in your neighborhood.
As you and I were just talking about, right?
Right,
We all
exactly.
have experience with that.
Exactly. Parasites.
My household included.
Right. Things like leptospirosis, which is a disease that can be spread to people. Hookworms and roundworms that they can pick up and spread to children. So all of these things can be found in your neighborhood, so make sure you're up to date on those, as well as parasite prevention, and don't forget identification. A microchip is always a must, just in case that leash breaks and they run off
You
somewhere.
don't want to lose that furry friend. To be able to get him back easily and make sure and take his check-ins, where can we find Noah's Animal Hospital?
NoahsHospitals.com.
You guys know that's where I take Blitzen, and I love you guys, and we love this furry friend with
Thank
those
you.
big frying pan paws, Amber,
yeah.
as I call Lord Kratos. He's gonna, you know what? I think he needs to make regular visits because he's gonna grow
that
pretty fast.
face.
We'll make that happen.
Oh, that face. Oh, he looks so snuggled, doesn't he?